Hello, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with a little bit of this, that, the other, a little bit of happy mail. How are all of you doing today? Doing pretty well, and doing my own thing. Um, Sort of eventful. Working on some projects and things. I'm almost done reading Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. It's good. I mean, I'm on like the tail end of the book, sort of like the I guess you would call it the epilogue. It's like the main gist of the story is over. Good stuff, really witty. Definitely appreciate some of the stuff in there. If you haven't checked it out already, do so. Good Omens, Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, good stuff. As far as what I'm going to read next, I'm not entirely sure, but I have a couple of ideas milling about. However, I will say this, that on this upcoming Thursday, I usually do audiobook narrations. So for those of you of a morbid and macabre inclination, I'm going to be doing a little bit of Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, so I'm not going to say which story. You're just going to have to stay tuned and find out for yourselves. And, we got some happy mail. And also, not too long ago, I was doing a review and unboxing of some hooks from Leto Workshop, which I have been using prolifically, as per usual. And I said how I was going to take 2 skeins of Mandala Bonus Bundle, and it was in the colorway of Chimera, or Chimera. I've been corrected. So there is sort of like a muted rainbow of colors. My lighting in here is god-awful, but what can you do? And so this is Chimera. And then the other one is Chewy. And so, there we go. So sort of like a tonal kind of colorway. And I held those 2 yarns together to make a sort of tweed, if you will. And I did an open block corner to corner blanket. I'm pretty happy with it. I used, by the way, it was, I think, an 8mm sized crochet hook, much bigger than I usually use. So hey, I'm getting outside of my comfort zone. And this is the result. And so since it is corner to corner, it creates this beautiful gradient. And I'll just keep going up a bit. I think this is gorgeousness. And it just keeps going and going and going, because, when you have a much more busy colorway as far as the Chimera, tomato, and then the Chewy, which is more tonal, these sort of even each other out. And I think it came out rather nice, all things considered. And so I used about 4 of those cakes. 2 of the Chewy, 2 of the Chimera. I'm saying Chimera, I'm sorry. So I used 2 of each, and I think it came out pretty darn spiffy. That's just my opinion, but wanted to show you that yes, it can work, and it does happen, and it is a substantial sized blanket, let me tell you. So that was one thing of many that I've been working on. And where is my doodad? Found it. This is my little stylus for my phone, and I use it to stop and start the videos in case you hadn't noticed me using it previously. At any rate, always got to make sure this is handy. At any rate, also, today I took it upon myself to go and vote early. Now, I am not going to tell you what to do as far as who or whatever. No, I'm not getting on any sort of soapbox. But what I will say is that it is your right to do so. So vote, as far as who you want to do it, that's none of my business. I'm just saying you have the ability, so go vote. And be prepared to wait on lines. For me, it was, I want to say, easily over an hour, but I think it was worth it. Oddly enough, when I was going to get my form, the woman behind the counter, she actually recognized me. She's like, Fiber Spider. I'm like, guilty as charged. My reputation precedes me. It was Not something that usually happens, but it was a pleasant, little pleasant surprise nonetheless. It's nice when people notice. But yeah, I did that, and we'll see what happens. At any rate, that being said, let's open some happy mail, shall we? Okay. Okie dokie. So I have 2 envelopes and a package. Now I have a feeling that the envelope and the package go together. I'll get to that in a bit. But right now I have a card. This is from Valerie in New Jersey. So let's take a look-see. I have a slight hunch that they might be of the Halloween orientation. I don't know. We'll find out. I always love getting cards from you guys. You guys are so sweet. Oh, and a little note that says, can read on camera. Thank you. I always say, it's like, please specify whether I can or cannot read it on camera. I respect privacy, but I love sharing, the warm and fuzzies with everybody on here. So I love the look of this. Happy Halloween. I love retro Halloween type of stylized decor and so forth. I'm old school. What can I say? But this is adorable. Thinking of you and hoping your Halloween is filled with fun and laughter. Dear Craig, I hope this card finds you in spooky spirits and ghoulish happiness. What are your favorite things to do for Halloween? I love to watch scary movies with my friends. My favorite is the Disney's Headless Horseman, which I think is a classic. I will be inclined to agree with you. The character of Ichabod Crane, I always thought he's kooky. It's like he needs to eat something. He was all skin and bones, and I think it was his Adam's apple, which was always like, quivering and so forth. Once again, thanks for the amazing videos, which I don't have the time to make all of those amazing patterns. Sincerely yours, Valerie. Well, thank you very, very much. Actually, I don't know. I mean, I do love horror movies, but those are not designated to a specific time of year. I like horror movies whenever. Actually, right now, I've been on a kick of watching Young Sheldon on Netflix. I'm on late season 3 already, and I only started it like maybe 2-3 days ago. So I've been binge watching that. It's cute. I like it. But as far as horror movies, I would say that there are a couple that I would highly recommend. Not necessarily gore fests or anything. Definitely the original 1960s Night of the Living Dead. The 1990 remake wasn't bad. It was a good juxtaposition of characters, how they behave, and certain elements and so forth. It got gorier, in the 90s, I will say that. The original movie, The Haunting, not to be confused with the Lily Taylor, Catherine Zeta-Jones remake, but no, the original black and white, where it was not about special effects, it was about what you didn't see more than what you did that made it creepy. The imagination is its own playground, let me tell you. Carnival of Souls with Candace Hillegloss, that one was really good. It's about a church organist that's being haunted. What else? Dementia 13. I believe that was a Francis Ford Coppola movie going way back. I think it was called City of the Dead. It was about witches in a coven in a old New England town with Christopher Lee. That was a pretty good one. Pretty much anything with Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. He's in that category, but honestly, I think he takes himself a little too seriously. Peter Lorre, he had a little bit of, weird comedy about him, but definitely Vincent Price. The House on Haunted Hill, The Bat. What else? Madhouse. That was a bit schlocky, but still good. I love Vincent Price. He is definitely one of my favorites. Oh, and The Last Man on Earth. Yes, it's hokey, but it was really good, and it was also a precursor to the story. Well, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. There was a book written by Richard Matheson called I Am Legend. And then it was turned into the movie The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. Then in the 70s, it was The Omega Man with Charlton Heston. And then it was I Am Legend with Will Smith. It all comes full circle. But basically, in a nutshell, you have a man who is the last man on Earth because everybody's been infected by a disease that turns them into vampires. Good stuff. It was sort of like the demystification of vampirism through psychological and biological terms. I thought it was quite interesting. Did a paper on it in college. I know, right? But those are some classics. Of course, naturally, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original one, I thought was quite good. Along with the sequels, they became more and more schlocky. But, the original movie Halloween, Friday the 13th, The Omen, Rosemary's Baby, The Shining, some good stuff out there. Pet Sematary. If any of you have seen Pet Sematary, that little kid Gage, oh my God, I had nightmares about him. But, I've seen many. I have seen many, many, many horror movies. A bit more recent, there was a good one called The Battery. It's on Amazon Prime right now. Another really good one, not so much horror, but more psychological thriller. It was The Collector with Terrence Stamp. That one was disturbing, but quite effective and really good. Yeah. Also was based on a book by, I believe, John Knowles. Yes, I'm a fountain of completely useless information, but the well hasn't run dry yet, so I'm going with it. So, that being said, I have a little bit more Happy Mail. And by the way, again, thank you. I believe it was Valerie. Yes? Valerie, yes. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, now before I open up my next bit of Happy Mail, I wanted to share I wanted to share something with all of you. My niece, she's such a precious little thing. She has gotten into origami, and for her birthday, I sent her some origami paper and some books, showing her how to do it and so forth. So she sent me a card, and inside the card, check this out. She sent me a little puppy dog, very, very cute, and I love what she did with the eyes. I'm a sucker, what can I say? So, Emma, thank you so very, very much. You're doing really good work, and I want you to keep at it. Practice, 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 and so I wanted to share that. Thank you, hun. So this next bit of Happy Mail is from Wendy in Oregon. Now, I'm not sure if these two things correlate to each other. Not entirely sure, but logic dictates that I think that it is the case. So on the back of this card here, it says, read on YouTube, Amazon package on October 24th. Now, I did get a package as well, but it doesn't say Amazon anywhere on it, but oddly enough, it is addressed to my P.O. box, and it is from a Wendy. I think that's more than a coincidence, so I think it's pretty safe to assume. So, first things first, gotta open up the card, and then we will see what's inside. Thank you very much, Wendy, in advance. The people at the post office were like, Wendy? I'm like, I don't know about Wendy or John or Michael or Tinkerbell, and they're like, oh, Peter Pan reference. I'm like, yes, I'm a geek, guilty as charged. Boo. That pretty much covers it. Happy Halloween. Thank you for inspiring me. Love your tortilla making video. Say that 5 times fast. Hope your day is wonderful as you are, Wendy in Oregon. Well, thank you very, very much. Actually, I haven't made tortillas in a hot minute, but I did experiment more with making pupusas. And yes, I did not forget. I would like to do a tutorial on making those as well. But actually, you know what? Not that long ago, speaking of all things cooking, I did do my very first attempt at making a frittata, and I think it came out pretty good. It's sort of akin to making a quiche, but it's less on the milk, more on the egg as far as the ratio, and you don't put it in the oven. You can do the whole thing on the stove top. So I thought it was an interesting departure from the usual quiche that I would do, but I think it came out pretty good, considering it was my first attempt. So now I got package here, and this is, I believe, from Wendy. And let me just get my trusty little pair of scissors. And I have a feeling that it has something to do with clothes. Can never have too many t-shirts, or socks for that matter. I have a thing for socks. And I never match them. No, I've got all sorts right now. Let me see. On one foot, I've got the Cat in the Hat, and then on the other one, I've got Elmo. I'm a large child. What can I say? What do we have here? Ooh, it isn't clothes. It appears to be a tote bag. Ooh, I'm intrigued. Sorry for the crinkles. And what do we have here? Oh, this is so cute. I love Fiber Spider. That's so cute. And it's got little kitties. So cute. And it's just for me. It's personalized. Thank you so much. I love it. Absolutely. I love tote bags. I really do. I'm a sucker for them. You can never have too many, because, well, you can never have too much yarn, and you can never have too many works in progress, so you can never have too many tote bags. And actually, this will come in very handy, I must say, because I have a lot of works in progress. So thank you so very much, Wendy. I really appreciate it. And, also, because this is nice and robust and sturdy, I can use this for taking books back and forth to the library, which reminds me I have more than a few that need to go back. I know, I've been bad. But, oh, that's sweet. I love, I stand corrected. And, I mean, I do love kitties. Even though I don't have any, that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like to have one if I could. Now, I'll tell you, Russ, I was doing a live stream with him on his channel the other night, and I swear, Fluffball, well, is it Fuzzball or is it Fluffball? I want to say it's Fuzzball. Sweetest little kitten. So sweet. I swear to God, if I could, I would adopt him myself. But apparently somebody else already called dibs. So, oh well. But absolutely, positively a delight. I mean, his streams are always fun. If you haven't checked them out already, go visit his channel. It's Raining Yarn. I want to say he does live streams, easily once a week, if I'm not mistaken, with his schedule. But, he's really good at that. Me, I know I haven't done a live stream in forever. Will I again? Maybe. I don't know. It's possible. I'm not promising nothing, but it is possible. But, stuff, things, and stuff. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. As far as, other things and whatnot, I don't know. Well, this Halloween, I really don't have any plans other than I'll be working. They encourage us to dress up, but it has to be cutesy. It can't be anything with blood or anything scary because, well, it is a public library, and I understand that, but if I can't do anything creepy or gory or scary, I'm just not down with it. I mean, I would have, like, blood coming out of all of my, eyes and ears and nose and mouth and everything. That's just my thing, So instead, I think I'm going to sort of play it, Wednesday Addams. I'm not dressing up like Wednesday Addams, but in the original movie, when she's asked, "Oh, what's your costume, sweetheart?" And, she says, "I'm a homicidal maniac. They dress like everybody else." That's usually my reply. Either that or I say that my costume is a disgruntled civil servant. That usually doesn't go over very well, but hey, that is part of my humor. I think that some of the people in my department are going to be dressing up as scarecrows. Me, if I were to be a scarecrow, I would have, like my lips, sewn shut and, like a crow sitting on my shoulder with, a fake eyeball in one of its beak, in its beak or something like that. My mind is a morbid playground. I mean, I like horror, but it's kind of frowned upon, especially with little kids around. I'm playful. But yeah, I'll be working that night. Yay. But like I said, there will be a short story of Edgar Allan Poe's on Halloween that I'll be posting, so I hope you guys like that. And yes, I already have a tutorial lined up for this weekend as well. By the way, I want to thank you guys so much for all the lovely comments and for the support that you guys showed for the last tutorial that I did. It was the Monde de Fleur tutorial that I did. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate. I mean, as far as what the actual project is, yeah, you could use it as a blanket or as a shawl or as a tablecloth. It's multifaceted, just like myself. I was actually surprised at how many of you were like, "Ooh, I need a good tablecloth," but hey, whatever you want to use it for, fine by me. Alrighty, so that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today. A little bit of chit chat, a little bit of happy mail, me with my meandering anecdotes, it's all part and parcel, right? Well, thank you for joining me today. Hope that you liked the video, and, well, you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, stay safe, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day, and thank you. Bye.